Hello everyone. Yes, it's me, Sir HEAD, back with you for another talk. That's right. It is another episode of my, I'd say, occasional talk with a member of the S&M Show podcast. That's right. It is Michael Larkin. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, Michael?
I'm doing all right, Anthony. I'm hanging in. I'm looking forward to being back here on Wrestling Zone Episode 3. This is our third installment of this. I'm ready to get into it.
Yeah, the reason why it's been taking so long, ladies and gentlemen, is due to personal matters. Michael's had some troubles with his family, not to go into too much detail, but there has been some issues in his family. He's had to take care of some family business, so that's why it's took so long to, for it to come back and everything. And we had the last one, I believe, was before Christmas, so that's why that's why it's took so long to come back, because he's had some family business to take care of as well, which is cool with me because I've had some business to take care of as well, working my ass off at the borough. So all in all, we are back for the third installment. Episode 1, episode 2, I believe, are up on
they're
SoundCloud.
yeah.
I would imagine they're up on the SoundCloud. Like I said, I was going to do, although the second one was a little bit late, but I got it up there eventually. So this one will go up, it will go in parts on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You will hear this on the podcast as well. This is for the Wrestling Matters podcast. I believe this will start episode 105. So this will start episode 105. This will be recorded over the WrestleMania weekend. Yes, it's WrestleMania week, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! Woo. And speaking of WrestleMania, we're going to get your predictions. Now, I'm not going to say anything, guys, because if you've listened to the podcast, you will already know I did an audio with the Raw review as well as my WrestleMania predictions, so you'll already know my WrestleMania predictions, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But I'm going to get Mr. Larkin's WrestleMania predictions, and you know what? Let's waste no time. Let's get into it right now. Now, I will say a few cents here and there of who I'd want, but I'm not going to say too much because, like I say, you probably have already known about this. We'll kick off. What's up?
Yeah, I said, no, I agree with you, yes.
Yeah, so we'll kick off. Okay, I'm just going to say something there.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we'll kick off with... I tell you what, let's kick off with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Who do you see winning that? Because we don't know who's in it. There's a few that we do know who's in it. Big Show, Kane has made it clear as well.
Outcast and Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, the Social Outwits and Tyler Breeze.
Yep.
So I could probably say right now and tell you this right now, guys. The Social Outcasts ain't winning.
Yep.
That's a fact. Okay. I think I made a prediction saying that Tyler Breeze, I would like to see Tyler Breeze win this, but that's wishful thinking. But who do you see? Who do you vision winning this?
Well, here's what I'm thinking, Anthony. I mean, there's talk that this might be his last year, so if you want to do something nice, I would give it to Mark Henry. But I'll be honest with you, a lot of people are all about Braun Strowman and how he's all, the black sheep of the Wyatt family. I don't think Braun Strowman's going to win it, but like I said, if you want to do something nice, if he's going to be retiring and this is his last year, I'd give the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal to Mark Henry.
The thing is with Braun Strowman, I think I've mentioned this a few times, the biggest thing that people don't like about the guy is because he's been rushed onto the main roster too early.
Yes.
The NXT roster or the NXT, the NXT show is not just an event. It's not just a brand. It's not just a wrestling program each and every Wednesday on the network. Little plug there. But it's supposed to be a developmental area as well.
Mm-hmm.
I do not remember one time Braun Strowman was ever wrestling in the NXT.
Well, the last time that we saw him in NXT, he wasn't even on the NXT brand. I mean, the only time you saw him he was a Rosebud.
Yeah.
That's the only time you saw him.
Yeah. And plus, I will admit, he's been in the developmental. There has been clips of him being in the developmental, the Performance Center.
Performance Center, yes.
I've seen clips of him in there as well. I've seen photos of him there. So he's had some training in that respect. But I think it's just a case of WWE management seeing this guy and thought, ooh, he could be good for the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
He could be good as a young guy I say young guy with a straight face because he's a big motherfucker, but he could be good for the Wyatt family. He could be good for that direction. He could be good for that. Like a young guy with a Wyatt family. Like the Evolution back in the day. They had 2 guys in Evolution back in the day. Hell, back to the Dangerous Alliance, the old Dangerous Alliance in WCW. They had 1 guy, even though it was supposed to be 4 of them. But Paul Heyman pitched 1 guy, which ended up being Stone Cold Steve Austin. So, it kind of works in that respects, but the guys had no development. I mean, that's why they're all pushing for this Undertaker Braun Strowman match at WrestleMania. Yeah. Nobody wants to see Braun Strowman and the Undertaker match. And if it's going to be the Undertaker's last match, which we'll get to later, from what we've been told, if it's going to be the Undertaker's last match, nobody wants to see Undertaker go out with a Braun Strowman match.
Oh yeah, hell no.
Nobody wants to see that. I didn't anyway. If like I say, if he had, and I said this to Daz of Max Wrestling, if he had some like development, maybe 2-3 year development, this might have worked.
Agreed.
But again, it's Vince McMahon's fetish with big men.
I mean, I get it. It's just, he's just not ready right now. Like I said, you got to give him another couple of years.
I was gonna say he's far from ready for
He's far from ready. Yeah.
He's far from ready. So who do you see winning overall?
I'm gonna go. Like I said, I'm gonna pick Mark Henry just for the nice little rub. If he's gonna go out this year, just give it to Mark Henry.
Okay. A match that I don't get, which a match that I don't get. I'm not talking about the 3rd annual Memorial Battle Royal. That's here and there.
And that's supposed to be, from what I'm hearing, is on the pre-show.
I would imagine that'll be on the pre-show. Although this next match that we're going to talk about, will probably, to be honest with you, should be on the pre-show because I don't see where this fits in at WrestleMania.
Good.
The Usos and the Dudleys tag team grudge match.
Anthony, it's funny that you said that because that is, besides the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, they said that is going to be the second match on the pre-show in the 2 hours because the pre-show this year is from 5 to 7. I think those are the 2 matches that they're putting on the pre-show.
Put the Battle Royal. I tell you what they should do. Take the Battle Royal out. Put the Battle Royal on the actual main show.
On the actual card, yeah.
On the actual card. And I tell you what you could do. Even though I'll probably get stick for this. Stick freaking Kalisto and Ryback on the pre-show.
Okay, we'll get to that one.
Yeah, no doubt. Jesus Christ. But like I said, the Usos and the Dudleys. Where do you see this one going?
I don't see this being a one and done. What my pick here is the Dudleys beat the Usos here, and then next month we follow it up with a tables match between the Usos and the Dudleys. If not next month, because I think next month is the Payback, and then the following month is the Extreme Rules.
No. Let me correct you there. April's Extreme Rules. You were correct the first time. April's Extreme Rules.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
April's Extreme Rules. So if they did that, then this would work. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, it should be on the pre-show. To be honest with you, if there was ever a match that should be on the pre-show, it's this one because in terms of the WrestleMania card, it just doesn't fit for me.
It doesn't. The Dudleys. I feel the Dudley Boys heel turn has been very lackluster.
It was poorly done.
Like I said, I see them getting the win here, and then next month you do a tables match, and you have the Usos beat them in their specialty.
Yeah, it was poorly done. The heel turn for the Dudleys. It was, it lured them into a trap. We'll have them in this 8-man tables match, and then we'll just turn on them after the match. They could have done that a little bit better, to be honest. But anyway, don't get me wrong. I love the Dudleys, and it's good to see them back. But to be honest with you, they should be tag team champions. They should have had a tag team title.
Yeah, they screwed them with that New Day thing. I mean, I get that they were putting them over, but they kept losing to the New Day. They kept losing to the Wyatts, and They're still 9-time WWE tag team champions, aren't they? They haven't had the 10th. Should have had the 10th a long time ago. But anyway, right. So, which one are you going with on that one? You've gone for Mark Henry on the. I'm going for Mark Henry on the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and I'm going for the Dudleys to beat the Usos.
Yeah. If it goes that way, but as we all know, the Usos Some people say the John Cena of the tag team division, so
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
And be honest, I'm sick and tired of seeing them on squashing the Ascension. I mean, we got to get somebody else for them to wrestle besides. I'm just sorry. The Ascension of just what are they? They're like the new Job Squad almost, because every time I see the Ascension, they're losing.
Yeah, If anybody's listening to this, Ascension, get yourself back on NXT.
Yep.
Right. This is a very strange direction where this next match that we're going to talk about now and get your prediction for has gone. The Intercontinental Championship match. Intercontinental title. Now, I did a podcast a while back, the Royal Rumble podcast, and during that chat, during the podcast, I had it on the chat thing, which got nearly 2,000 views, by the way. On the chat thing, somebody came in and said, "Oh, well, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania," and it seems like they were going down that direction, but it seems like somebody backstage just went and pulled the plug. Because, yes, they both came back in time and everything like that, but I don't get it. I just don't get where this is supposedly gone.
My thought on this is, last year they did a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship where you had like 6 or 7 guys, and Daniel Bryan won the Intercontinental title, so it's like a repeat of last year almost.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, I've got no problem with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler being in it. Yes, The Miz was in it because we knew that was going to happen eventually anyway, considering what happened these past couple of weeks on Raw. So we knew The Miz was going to get involved, even though we don't like The Miz, but he was going to get involved anyway because him and Dolph Ziggler wanted it. So I don't know if this was Kevin Owens' idea or probably WWE management, but you've got Kevin Owens, you've got Sami Zayn, you've got Dolph Ziggler, you've got The Miz.
Yeah.
What the fuck did Sin Cara, Zack Ryder, and Stardust do to get into that situation? Besides being picked for a triple threat match for a potential opponent, which fell through. Because it was all Kevin Owens' master plan.
Well, here's the thing. Most of these gentlemen, except for Zack Ryder and Sin Cara, have been former Intercontinental Champions, I guess, if you want to look at it like that. I'm just trying to bring some logic into this. But the thing is, I see them... I like in a way that Zack Ryder's getting his moment. I mean, I still think it should have been just Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship. But, I mean, it's nice to see Zack Ryder get a moment. I mean, him and the Hype Bros have been killing it in NXT. And, Zack's there. Sin Cara, since Kalisto's doing his thing with the U.S. title, Sin Cara's on the show. Stardust is in there again. Nice to see Cody get his just due. And The Miz, you got to throw The Miz in there. And Dolph Ziggler is Dolph Ziggler. But, be honest, it is what it is.
Well, I think I picked Sami Zayn to win this one.
That would be... I agree with you. I agree. Sami Zayn coming out with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. But like I say, I mean, just keep Zack Ryder on NXT for now with the Hype Bros. Because
I agree.
They're actually doing well, that tag team.
Yeah.
Sin Cara seems to be lost without Kalisto, since Kalisto's now the US champion. More on that in a second. And Stardust needs to return to Cody Rhodes, to be honest with you, but that's my opinion on that one. Right, the next match, which is also took a weird turn. New Day.
Oh, God.
Versus the League of Nations, which will be in June. The 3 members of the League of Nations, should they still be in business, because Wade Barrett is on the verge of leaving, so... This is a 6-man tag, right?
This is from what I heard, it's a 4-on-3 handicap match.
Oh my fucking god. I suppose you better throw Wade Barrett in there, since this is probably going to be his last WrestleMania anyway. Wade Barrett, the 4-on-3, fucking hell. I think New Day have wrote a check they ain't going to cash, quite frankly. But anyway, how do you see this going?
I see New Day retaining, and I see if Barrett is on the way out, which I think he is, and I just want to say right now, if Barrett does go to TNA, just put him with Galloway.
Yeah.
And but yeah, my pick is New Day, and I see Barrett taking the fall.
Yeah. I've always said the League of Nations are a poor man's United Kingdom.
Yes, from that great WWE video game. I believe it was WWE 12.
Yeah, WWE 12 video game. Go and find it, and you know who I'm talking about, because the United Kingdom were Drew Galloway, TNA World Champion, Wade Barrett, Sheamus,
and William
Regal. Granted, now Regal's on NXT as a scout or talent coordinator or whatever the fuck his job is down there, GM as well.
Yep.
So there'll be no room for him, but like I said, the League of Nations are a poor man's United Kingdom. Although I have been impressed with them during this little feud, because that Raw where they beat the hell out of the New Day and beat them down, they actually looked like a group.
Yeah, they look strong.
They look strong. They actually look like how a group should be. And up until that point, they hadn't been like that. At least from what I saw, anyway. I might be wrong, but from what I've seen up until that point where they beat the crap out of New Day on Raw, they hadn't been that group they should have been. I mean, they should have done that to other people a long time ago, and they did in a way with the Usos and Roman Reigns feud. You know, all of that leading to Roman Reigns winning the title after TLC, but they should have done it more. They should have been more dominant. They weren't. I didn't feel that they were that dominant as they did with the New Day stuff when they beat the living tar out of New Day on Raw, which was, to be honest with you, in a funny, because I'm not the biggest New Day fan. I'll tell you that for nothing.
Yep.
Right. I'll throw one match in there. As we're recording this, guys, this match hasn't been announced yet, from what I've seen. But I suppose it'll probably be in. It'll probably get announced and it'll be in. AJ Styles, Chris Jericho.
Styles.
Yeah. I swear to God right now, and like I say, guys, I am doing a live stream on WrestleMania. I will be watching WrestleMania and streaming it on YouTube, and you won't be seeing it. You'll be seeing me. You'll get my reactions of WrestleMania and whatever. I swear to God right now, if they do to AJ Styles what they did to Sting last year, I will fucking lose the plot. You will see me on that live stream. I will fucking trash my fucking bedroom. Seriously.
I don't think they're doing it.
I don't think they're doing it. Yeah, the way it's being built, they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
I think this feud between Chris Jericho and AJ Styles is a design for Jericho to put AJ Styles over. I think that's been very clear, but this is WWE we're talking about. Go ahead.
I would like to make just a quick note about AJ Styles. So, they banned the Styles Clash, and now we just have him doing the phenomenal forearm, as it's known, and the calf crusher, which are still cool moves, but why you gotta ban the Styles Clash?
Fuck you, Vince.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say on that one. They banned the Styles Clash, so it has been banned then.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Oh, God,
well, here's the thing, too. Before even AJ got there, Michelle McCool was using it. It was called the Fake.
Yeah. Pot called Kettle Black there, Vince. Oh, we'll ban it now. We'll ban the Styles Clash now. You didn't ban it when Michelle McCool was using it. For fuck's sake.
And I know you want to give the whole thing, well, Yoshitatsu is a former employer there. He got his neck broken. I mean, it wasn't AJ's fault. Both of those times were not AJ's fault. It was just because those guys didn't tuck their heads. It's a safe move.
It's a simple thing to do. And I've seen... I've watched wrestling all my life. I'd be able to take a fucking Styles Clash.
Yep.
It's a simple fucking thing to do. All you do is get put into a pile drive position. You let the guy put the foot in. You wrap your hands or your arms or whatever it is around the guy's ankles. Okay, and then as he's going to drop you, you tilt your head to the side, and you take the bump that way where your cheeks hitting the canvas. You don't You don't move, unless you can work something out with Styles, so you can counter it and everything. You don't move. You don't tilt your head forward. You just tilt your head to the side and let your cheek take the fall. Yep. Your cheek or your right cheek or your left cheek on your face, and you just tilt your head to the side. It's a simple thing. Fucking Christopher Daniels could do it, for crying out loud. And you've got all these guys. You've got Lionheart complaining. Adrian McCollum. You've got Yoshitatsu. Come on.
Which the only reason that's why I brought up because also Yoshitatsu is back wrestling in New Japan, right, as of now.
Yes, he was announcer. He was announcer the night they turned on Styles, the Bullet Club.
Yep.
And a very poor announcer too. I felt like Kevin Kelly and Mike Striker were trying to get, they had a hard time with that one, like trying to get stuff out of him. But in a way, it was hilarious. But it just didn't work. I don't think the promoters of that will be thinking, no, we ain't going to be calling him for any announcing jobs anytime soon.
Nope.
Right.
So yeah, the last one we both picked. I'm picking the New Day over the League of Nations.
Yeah, I'll pick the New Day over the League of Nations, even though it pains me to admit it. And Styles and AJ, well, it's going to be Styles, and it's
going to be Styles and Jericho. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to be, it's designed. The whole feud's designed to put AJ over.
It's like the passing of the torch.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so.
Kalisto and Ryback. Let's get this one out the way. US title. I look at this match right now, and I think, God damn you, I miss you, Cena.
Yeah. I'm missing an open challenge. Alright, here's my thing with Kalisto and Ryback. I mean, they did this back in November where, they were doing the championship tournament where it was vacant. Kalisto advanced by beating Ryback, and now Ryback's heel, and they're trying to, he wants it's a little guy versus the big guy, and, they're making Ryback like the monster now. They're kind of doing like a Goldberg-type deal with him, which, yeah. But, you know what? I think, unfortunately, as much as I want Kalisto to win, because I've been enjoying him as his reign, he's a terrific wrestler. He's like what Ray was. I'm going with Ryback to win the belt.
Yeah. The thing is with this, I don't think Ryback's a heel. Mm-hmm. I just think I think it's got to the point right now. His character's had enough of, being in tag teams and being held back. He wants this push, and obviously they're not going to make him into like a Paul Heyman guy like they tried it last time.
Yeah.
Or do anything like that. They're going to build a monster out of him. But to be honest with you, I don't think he's heel. I think people still cheer him, but it's got to the point right now where he respects people, but he's sick and tired of being, like an outsider, with tag teams and shit like that. He wants the championship belt around his waist. You want something around his waist, and I don't think the Intercontinental Championship worked for him. That I thought it would have done, but I don't think it did.
I'll be honest, it was a failed reign. It really was a failed reign with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. So that's why they ended up with that. So maybe if the Intercontinental title didn't work, maybe the US title will.
Yeah,
but I'm picking. I think I picked Kalisto with this one, so not to go into too much detail because I just don't see what they could do with Ryback as the US champion. But like I said, the US championship, I miss seeing it.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to be a bad match, but I think with the direction they're going with Ryback, I kind of see Ryback getting the belt. And I don't want Kalisto to lose, but I see Ryback getting the belt.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But the question is, will it work?
Yeah, exactly.
If Ryback does get the belt, that is. Right. I suppose we'll get this out of the way as well. The Divas title. 3 members of the 4 Horsewoman.
Yep.
Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. Now, as much as I love Becky Lynch, I think Sasha should win this one. That's what I went for. Let's put the belt on the boss.
That is actually where I was going. Because, Charlotte, she's had a great one. I wouldn't say it's great because, they're doing a whole thing with her and Ric Flair, Daddy. And, I like Becky Lynch, but I don't see her getting it. And Sasha's been killing it. So my pick as well has been Sasha. And I think this match is going to be really well. And I'm going with Sasha.
I think the thing is that it was great to have Charlotte be the champion and everything, and the Bella Twins' reign, as best she did anyway.
Yeah.
But this whole thing with her and her father, if they wanted her to turn heel, they should have just had her turn heel and just leave it there.
I really didn't needed Rick, no.
Yeah, she didn't need her daddy. All these rumors that flying around that Ric Flair was going to manage. Ric Flair's managing this. It's just making Charlotte look like she got there with her father's help.
Yep.
And to be fair, she didn't. All right, Flair was there for support and everything, but having Flair at her side makes people think that she just got there from her daddy. So it makes her look ridiculous as well, just as much as anything. But it is what it is at the end of the day. But like I said, I'm going for the boss. Like I said, I went for the boss on that one, and obviously Michael's agreed with me on that.
Now, I do have one thing I just want to note about the Divas. Are we going to be seeing a 10-women tag? Because I'm hearing it might be Brie Bella, Paige, and Alicia Fox, and I don't know, 2 others like Natalia and somebody else against Lana, Team Bad, and I think they got Summer Rae, and they're bringing Emma up from NXT again to Emma to join that. I don't know. There's talk of a 10-diva tag. I don't know if you heard about that with the whole Lana Brie Bella exchange. I don't know if they'll add it here. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but that's what I'm.
But I could see that happening. Like I say, considering with the Brie Bella situation with Lana, and plus this is Brie's last WrestleMania also because she's made it clear she's out.
She's out.
Yeah, she's out. She's going to go home and play wifey to Daniel. So.
And the only reason what I wanted to mention that was because I'm glad that they picked Emma for for Lana's team, because there was rumor that they were gonna bring Eva Marie up, and I was just like, oh no. Just I'm glad it was Emma.
Too early for her yet.
Too early, yeah.
Yeah, too early for Eva Marie. She's got a long way to go before she makes it up in the main roster. I can tell you that. Yep. But yeah, Emma's improved.
She has.
Emma's not that fucking Piper of flowing bubbles that she once was.
Yeah, the bubbly chick. Yeah.
Yeah. I could see Aaron Dana Brooke being a good tag team in Divas division wise, of course. But yeah, she's changed. She's not the same person she once was, and I really hated that gimmick anyway. So, but like we say, the boss will be the next Divas champion. I hope. You know what? Let's go to this one first.
Good.
Because I've had a lot of stories and a lot of ways this is going to turn out. What could very well be The Undertaker's last match.
Oh, boy.
Shane McMahon and The Undertaker in Hell in a Cell. Now, I'd heard a lot of rumors about this match the minute it was signed. Undertaker versus Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon was going to hire somebody. The name that was thrown around was Goldberg. And hell, I even came across another one the other day that it was possibly going to be John Cena.
Yep.
Considering it was scheduled, it was originally, a little spoiler here for you guys, but it was originally supposed to be John Cena and The Undertaker in the first place until Cena got injured. So, where's this one going? Now, like I said, don't get me wrong, I've said this many, many times. I love me some Undertaker. Something's going to go down with him and Vince McMahon in this match. You could see it a mile away. Because obviously Undertaker's nobody's bitch. So
and they just...
Yeah, and obviously the Undertaker's going to kill Vince at some point. Go on.
Oh, I was going to say that on Raw that they also announced the contract signing, so there's going to be some interaction there.
Yeah, so there's going to be some definitely interaction there. Plus, this could be the Undertaker's last match from what it seems, because if Vince says if the Undertaker doesn't win this, Undertaker may never wrestle again, so could this be the Undertaker's match? Like I've said many, many times, I love me some Undertaker, and I think I said this during the week as well. I'm kind of pulling for Shane on this one. And the reason why I'm pulling for Shane, because I want this authority crap to be over. I want change. There's talk of a brand extension again, a brand split.
Yep.
And I want the authority BS. This authority thing should have ended well before now. It should have ended at the Survivor Series, not the Survivor Series gone, the one before.
Yeah,
when Sting came out. Yeah, 2014 Survivor Series. It should have ended there, but it didn't. Yeah, I'm pulling for Shane on this one, but like I said, I love me some Undertaker, so I want Shane to win, but as long as the Undertaker goes out in a credible way, if this is his last WrestleMania, then let's do it.
All right.
Let it do it. That's my take on that one. I had to say that in. So, where did you see this one going?
Man, this is a tough one. I'm pulling for Shane too. My pick is Shane, but here's the thing. I don't see, in a way, I kind of see Taker winning because I don't think this will be his last WrestleMania. But the thing is that John Cena also just put out a tweet talking about, he hopes they play this, and it was like a music sheet at WrestleMania. So he was throwing like a little hint that he might be at WrestleMania, even though he said he's not going to be at WrestleMania. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pulling for Shane. I want all this authority crap gone. I want to see a brand extension, which I think would be cool. And yeah, I'm pulling for Shane, and I think Shane McMahon somehow, some way is going to beat The Undertaker.
Well, that's to say, Shane was going to beat The Undertaker, and hopefully change will happen, because it needs to happen. Because, like I say, I am sick and tired of this stale bullshit with
Authority.
The Authority. The Authority thing just needs to end. If Taker wins, then Taker wins. You're not going to hear anything out of me. Like I said during my audio during the week on the predictions during the Raw interview. If Taker wins, Taker wins.
That's what I'm saying. If Taker wins for me, I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with that. But I only want Shane to win so they can get rid of the Authority. The next match is Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. This will be the show stealer for me. Because if you guys are buying this pay-per-view or watching it on the network and you're expecting a wrestling match, I could probably guarantee you right now it's not going to happen. This is going to be a fight. Street fight, no holds barred. It's going to be a fight. I don't know who the hell I'm picking in this one, and I made this clear during the week. I went on who I can see winning this one, and I can see Brock Lesnar winning it.
All right, I'm going to go for the upset here. I'm going to say, since, Mick Foley's handed him Barbie, Terry Funk's handed him Chainsaw, and, I guess it's the passing of the torch from the hardcore legends, I see somehow, some way, Dean Ambrose fights out the odds and he defeats the beast, Brock Lesnar. I'm going with Dean.
I'll have no problem with Dean Ambrose winning it. I mean, Terry Funk scared the shit out of me with that fucking chainsaw. I mean, can you imagine him bringing that chainsaw to freaking WrestleMania? Holy shit.
Chainsaw Charlie, baby.
Yeah, now as I'm saying, can you imagine Dean Ambrose bringing that chainsaw to WrestleMania? Holy shit. Brock would be shitting himself. But like I say, it's like the things they've done in the past with Dean Ambrose. If Dean Ambrose wins, I will not complain, but it's like what they've done with Dean Ambrose before in the past. Built him up, and then take Roadblock for example. He got the 3 count, but his foot was under the ropes, kind of thing. Another failed move on that one.
Don't get me started on Roadblock. Oh man!
But like I said, I just don't see what they can do with him. I mean, if there's anybody who should be the face of the company, it's Dean Ambrose. But that's another issue for another day. But like I say, at the moment right now, I went on who I could see winning this, and I went on with Brock Lesnar. I hope Dean Ambrose wins, and if Dean Ambrose does win, I won't complain. I'm a fan of both these guys anyway.
Me too.
The only thing the only downside I had to this was, as we all know, guys, if you heard that this was scheduled to be
Brock Lesnar,
Bray Wyatt. Yeah, Brock and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, but courtesy of what happened at the Rumble, I believe it was.
Yep.
They decided to go with Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar.
Was
it the Rumble or was it Fastlane? I'm pretty sure it was Fastlane. The triple threat match.
In the triple threat, because I think they liked the interaction of Brock and Dean, so they went with Brock and Dean, and then they did Brock and Bray against Bray and Harper at Roadblock. I was going to say my theory about the whole Bray Wyatt situation, Anthony, is I think they might be saving that for SummerSlam.
Maybe. I prefer that to Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. Let me tell you.
Correct.
But I mean, they built that up for Roadblock, and we thought, oh yeah, we'll have the WrestleMania Dream match. And I said this on one of my podcasts as well. Yay, the WrestleMania Dream match: Brock Lesnar versus Luke Harper. Wait, Luke Harper?
Yep.
Oh, for fuck's sake! That's the kind of thing that went down because you were expecting the Bray Wyatt match, and you get Luke Harper instead, and you wonder why probably Luke Harper's on the shelf. But anyway, and so I'm not going to say anything about the main event. We all know where the main event's going. Roman Reigns, Triple H, World Title. I made this. This was the easiest pick during the week. It was Roman Reigns to pick. For me, probably the most predictable match of the whole card.
Yeah, my pick here is Roman Reigns, obviously, to win the title. Very predictable, but unfortunately, I don't want to say this, but I think he's going to get booed out of the building.
It's funny you should mention that because there's a WWE rumor flying about.
Go ahead.
WWE rumor. Former member of The Shield turning heel right after WrestleMania 32. It has been something that has been rumored for months upon months now, and many thought it would happen, or already have happened. After capturing the heavyweight championship twice, Roman Reigns still is getting booed out of every building he enters. But he's still playing the fans' babyface. Well, it appears as if the third time may be the claim that brings about a heel turn for the former member of the Shield. And it is coming after WrestleMania 32, apparently. So I'm guessing WrestleMania 32, after WrestleMania 32, can only be Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be happy with this if this happens, but you know, it's a case of, you know, believe it when you see it kind of thing for me. What do you think of that?
I agree with what you said. I believe it when I see it. I wouldn't mind Roman Reigns as a heel. I personally like him. I think he's getting the unnecessary hate from the whole, you know, ever since Dana Bryan ended that Rumble last year, I think that killed him just going into WrestleMania, then all that. But still, I like Roman Reigns. Even whether he's a face or heel, I think him and H is going to be a good match. But you know, it's predictable. And like I said, Roman Reigns is walking out with the title.
The thing is with Roman Reigns, the reason why Roman Reigns is getting booed out the building constantly, is because of the way he's being built.
Yeah, he's John Cena 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0. That's what he is. That's the way he's being built. It's as simple as that. That's why he's getting booed out the building, ladies and gentlemen, because he's being built as John Cena 2.0. If they left him as the monster he was coming out of the Shield, when the Shield split, he'd be fine. But they didn't. He came out the Shield, Vince grabbed down him and said, yeah, I'm making you John Cena 2.0. Done. That's the way it was. That's why he's getting pushed and pushed and pushed to the moon. Him not winning the championship at WrestleMania 30, or 31, not 30, him winning the championship at not winning the title at WrestleMania 30 in that triple threat match, which ended up having Seth Rollins, I believe that was his doing from what I heard.
Yeah.
Because he said he wasn't ready.
I heard rumors about that. Yeah, I heard stories about that.
Yeah. Because he said he wasn't ready for it. So, you know, it is what it is. Oh, God. Rene Dupree reveals his personal feelings on Triple H, talks WWE royalty lawsuits. Brighton. Nope, I'm not even going to go there. I can't imagine where that's going.
Well, we do also have a show 2 days before WrestleMania. Would you like to talk about NXT
TakeOver? Oh, yeah.
Then?
Let's do it then. Yeah, Dallas. I forgot about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's all this 6 matches. Yeah, I know. There's 6 matches announced. If you want to do some predictions on Dallas.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that as well. Yeah, I think I've done my predictions on that during the week, but I actually forgot about it, to be fair. I'll get your predictions on that now, actually, yeah. I actually forgot about that, to be fair. I did that during the week. And it's all this hype on WrestleMania, guys. It's all this hype with WrestleMania.
WrestleMania weekend, yeah.
WrestleMania weekend and that, and you forget there's another show kicking about as well on WrestleMania weekend, which is NXT Dallas.
Yeah, let's talk about this, Anthony, and then let's talk some Hall of Fame, man. We got the Hall of Fame class. I personally like the Hall of Fame class. I think it's a good one this year.
Yeah, but I've talked many times about the Hall of Fame and the direction the Hall of Fame has gone. We'll talk about more of it in a second as well. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that are going into the Hall of Fame, but there's people that are not going into the Hall of Fame. And there's a long list of people who should be in the damn Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like British Bulldog, Rick Rude, the list goes on and on.
Yeah. But we'll get to that later, though. I believe, let's get your prediction on this match, since I can't find the list.
I have it in front of me. I just picked it up from Wiki and the stuff. There's 6 matches announced, so just
go on. And we'll go with your and then what's the
okay.
Like I say, I apologize, guys. I mean, I actually forgot about this as well. I had 2 things to talk about in mind, but I actually forgot about this. Like I say, with all the WrestleMania stuff and everything, and I did do predictions on this during the week as well.
You're fine. Yeah, it popped into my mind too. I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah, there's Dallas Friday before, right? It's right before WrestleMania. I forgot about it too. So yeah, it just popped into my head. No problem.
Yeah.
Matches that are announced for this are. We'll start with the tag title match. The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder defend
Love this team.
Me too. Defend against the American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, and I see new tag. I like them both. I like both tag teams, but my pick is American Alpha to win the titles, Jordan and Gable.
I believe I picked the guys to retain, but like I said, I don't think I'll be, disappointed if Jason Jordan and Chad Gable given, because they're actually a great team.
They are.
So I don't think I'll be disappointed if they become new tag team champions. But this team is it the Revival?
The Revival, yes. Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder.
Dawson and Dash and Dawson, as they called, or as they were called first before they were called the Revival. This team is a modern day brainbusters. It's a modern day, Anderson-like team, and I could see these two being major players on the main roster. And I think I went for these two to retain, but I won't be disappointed if Chad Gable and Jason Jordan become new champions. I won't be disappointed at all. But like I said, if I had to pick which one to go with out of the two, I would probably say I like the Revival better than Jordan and Gable. But like I say, it's a win-win either way at the end of the day. But I went for Revival to retain because they dominated Enzo and Cass on the Roadblock show, which fucking should have been a new tag team champions on there. Like I said, less said about Roadblock the better. But I really do like this team either way, and like I said, I went for the tag team. I went for them to retain, but like I said, either way, Chad Gable or Jordan win, I won't be disappointed. They've earned their stripes. Definitely earned their stripes.
The next one is actually one that was recently announced. Apollo Crews goes one-on-one with the Drifter, Elias Sampson. Now this comes after Johnny Gargano defeated Elias Sampson on NXT. Elias did not like that too much. He beat down Gargano after the match, and Apollo Crews made the save, and then Elias Sampson just walked off. My pick here is Apollo Crews.
Yeah, I think this is another. I think it's got back to the point where now Apollo Crews is having these squash matches, like he used to do before he got put up to the thing, and they used to come in and have these, like, Tyler Breeze was one.
Ty Dillinger,
I believe, was his first victim.
Yep.
I think it's got to the point right now where this is happening, and I remember that. So, it's Apollo's match to win. I went for Apollo on this one, definitely. Like I said, guys, sorry, I'm just trying to remember these guys. Like I said, right. we forgot about these. I forgot about this. I forgot all about this during the. I did a review during the week and everything. I actually forgot about it, to be fair. Like I said, with all the talk of WrestleMania and everything, and then, like I said, you talk about WrestleMania and you forget on the Friday that it's Dallas, the NXT in Dallas. So I mean, like I said, all in all, I went for the Revival and Apollo Crews to win.
Yeah, right now I'm going with American Alpha and Apollo Crews as well. The next ones are actually the four big ones. We'll start with the NXT Women's Championship is on the line as Bayley defends against Asuka. Now, I won't have an issue if either one, wins. This is another win-win for me, but my pick here is for Bayley to retain over Asuka.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit too early for Asuka to get the belt yet.
Yeah.
And Bayley's not done with what the heck she's doing anyway, and like I said, she's one of many NXT wrestlers that are very weary about going onto the main roster. So, I would probably say Bayley to retain on that one. Don't get me wrong, I love Asuka. Is it Asuka?
Asuka, yes.
Yeah, I love Asuka, but it's Bayley's match to win. For me, I definitely went with Bayley on that one. That was a no-brainer.
All right, so for me it's American Alpha, Apollo, and Bayley, and you are Revival, Apollo, and Bayley as well. So, all right, let's go with, here we go. The debuting Austin Aries, one-on-one with Baron Corbin. Austin Aries.
Austin Aries, that's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer, and I'll be definitely watching that match to see Austin Aries in there, because when he arrived in NXT, Jesus Christ, I was marking out. Like I say, TNA's lost is NXT's gain, and he fits there perfectly, and I can't wait to see what he can do on, or what he can really do in NXT when it comes to the main show as well. And
agreed.
All right, they could have picked a better opponent than Baron Corbin, but anyway. But anyway, either way, Austin Aries all day long with that one.
Do that. Now, another man making his debut, Sami Zayn, one-on-one with the debuting Shinsuke Nakamura.
Now we're talking. Okay. Shinsuke Nakamura and the veteran himself, Mr. Sami Zayn. Oh my God, this is going to be out. This is going to steal the show.
Yep, this will be the show stealer.
Yeah, and I'm going. Like I say, I love Sami Zayn, and I won't be disappointed if he wins. But this is Nakamura's first match.
Yeah, so Nakamura.
It'll be an idiot. It'll be daft to have him lose his first match in there. Although they did it with Sting in WWE, so
they did.
So anything could happen. But I would say Nakamura to win this match. I said Nakamura to win this match, and I'm sticking to it. So. But like I said, I won't be disappointed. I won't be disappointed if Sami wins.
Be either way, like I said, most of these matches on here are win-wins, because this whole card is going to be the weekend before WrestleMania. This might just steal WrestleMania with the way this is. Just these 6 matches.
Yeah, like I said, I think Sami Zayn's pulling a Kevin Owens.
Yep. Yeah, Kevin Owens wrestled on the weekend to Takeover, and then he did SummerSlam. So yeah.
Yeah. So he's kind of pulling the Kevin Owens. So the question is, will he be fit? Would he be fit enough? At least he's having a one-on-one match the previous day, because on WrestleMania he has to go into a ladder match.
Yep.
And quite frankly, Kevin Owens had a ladder match on Takeover and went into a one-on-one match with Cesaro the next day.
Yep.
So I think Sami's got the best deal out of that one.
He does. All right, now let's get to...
Like I said, I'm going with Nakamura on that one.
Okay. Sorry about that. And in the main event, rematch from the last one, Finn Balor versus Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. I think it's time that Samoa Joe gets that belt. Samoa Joe to win the NXT Championship.
I would say that as well, but question is, are they still... because like I say, he's another one who's weary about going into the main roster.
Yeah, Finn Balor, you're right.
Finn Balor. Are they really to pull the trigger on it? Because I have heard a lot of rumours that Mr. Anderson, and I'm not talking about Kenneth Anderson, I'm talking about Carl Anderson, and Doc Gallows are heading to the main roster straight away. They're not coming to NXT, they're going straight to the main roster. So, question is that what I've heard a rumour that is that what Mr. Balor's waiting for? Because if he goes on there in the main roster with them two are on, everything will be cool, everything will be smooth, it's all good at the end of the day. So, but like I say, he's another one who's weary about going on the main roster, and it's not just him as well. Triple H has held him back in that respect as well. So, I want to see Samoa Joe as the NXT champion, but question is, it's all about the question of whether or not what they're doing with Finn Balor. Is he going to the main roster? Is he going there? I pick Finn Balor to retain. I picked Finn Balor to retain, but like I say, it's a case of is he going to the main roster? Are they holding him back again still because he's weary about going to the main roster? Because he's made it very clear that he's questioning the logic, and I think he even said at one point that going to the main roster would be like taking a step down instead of a step up. So, is this rumor true that he's waiting for his boys to come over from the Bullet Club to go to the main roster? I don't know, but that's the questions we'll have to answer at Takeover. At the end of the day, I picked Finn Balor to retain.
All right. Yeah, and I'm going with Joe to win. Like I said, either way, it's another win-win. I'm looking forward to the whole night. So yeah, that's NXT Takeover Dallas.
Yeah, I'm like I said, if Joe wins, I won't be disappointed. But you have to think about whether or not, if you believe the papers or you believe the dirt sheets and that, you have to think of what direction are they going with Finn Balor? Is he going to the main roster? Is he going to, is he staying on NXT? Is he ready? Is he going to go to the main roster? Like I say, because he's one of a list of many people that is weary about going to the main roster, which is understandably so, quite frankly.
Sure.
Right, Hall of Fame it is then.
I mean, I agree with you, man, but the only thing, I have the Hall of Fame up right here, Anthony, and the only inductee that I don't see who it's going to be inducted by is the Big Boss Man. And two other things that I'm hearing is we might be having another Warrior Award this year, and I don't know about a celebrity inductee. I heard rumor it could be, one talk was Cyndi Lauper, who rightly deserves it. Another talk was Regis Philbin.
Yeah, I'd take Cyndi over that.
Yeah,
if that's the case. I'd take Cyndi over that, considering she was at WrestleMania 1. Sting's going in it, as we know, which is fucking deservedly so.
And he is being inducted by Ric Flair.
Perfect fit.
Yep.
Perfect fit. As we said earlier on, Vader's been inducted by Stan Hansen. Vader's inducting Stan Hansen into the Hall of Fame. I would have said JBL on that one, to be honest. If not with JBL, with Jacqueline earlier on. I still don't get why the Dudley Boys are thinking it, but like you say, maybe it's the Attitude Era. I don't know. And next, Jacqueline's going to be inducted in, and it's also been cleared, ladies and gentlemen, that the Freebirds are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame by the New Day, which is very much so a fit as well, because we all know the New Day is like the Freebirds. Go on.
Will you die if Michael Hayes gets to wear a unicorn on his head?
I think I'd quit my life.
You do know it's probably going to happen. They'll probably put the unicorn on his head.
He'd probably do it for the banter and everything,
yeah.
But
I mean,
I would like to see. I know it's not going to happen, but I'd like to see the Freebirds beat the crap out of the New Day. To be honest. Yeah. You stole our gimmick, damn it! Boom, boom, boom. But I know that's not going to happen.
I know. Now, you mentioned JBL should have inducted Stan Hansen. The Godfather is being inducted by both Bradshaw and Farouk, the APA.
That's a perfect fit as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know why Bradshaw's been on that one as well, but at the end of I could probably see why. No, he wasn't, was he? He wasn't in the Ministry, was he? Godfather Ministry. He was in the Nation.
Yeah, he was in the Nation.
And Farouk was the leader of the Nation at one point,
yeah,
as well, before The Rock took over. So, yeah, it's understandable in that respect. But like I say, I would have probably let Bradshaw induct, or let the APA induct Jacqueline. Yeah. Probably give that role to the Dudley Boys.
Don't know, but yeah, Big Bossman is the only one who does not have an inductee as of right now.
It'd be who to induct him, though.
I don't know.
I'd probably say Vince McMahon on that one, just because
with the corporation.
I was going to say he spent most of the time with the corporation and everything, and he was his bodyguard at one point. So
I have a perfect fit for Bossman, but I don't know if they get him. Jim Cornette, because of the whole Jim Cornette, Big Bubba Rogers connection there.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. Stranger things have happened, and
true.
Cornette has made it very clear about his feelings about the WWE, so but it's like I say, stranger things have happened, and that. But like I say, it goes to the list. I mean, all these guys, all these people are going in the WWE Hall of Fame and everything, and yet there's no Ravishing Rick Rude, which pisses me off. How that guy's not in the Hall of Fame, I will never know. Glad the Boss Man's in it. Freebirds probably deserves it as well. Sting, defo.
Yeah, definitely.
Godfather, in a way, yes.
Well, that was his, out of all the gimmicks that he did, your Kamas, your and all that, Kama Mustafa and everything, the Papa Shango, I think, the Godfather, I think they feel is one of his best gimmicks that he got over.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He got over definitely with the Godfather role as well. And the Papa Shango thing worked, but
it did, but
Godfather was definitely his best. No question about that. Jacqueline feuded with Sable.
Yep.
One of the original women's wrestlers back in the day. And she's had a role in WCW as well.
Miss Texas.
Miss Texas. And like I say, she managed the APA at one point as well, which doesn't make any sense having the Dudleys in there. But anyway, yeah, it just makes me sick that there's no Rick Rude.
I know.
There's no. I can probably understand why there's no Owen Hart, despite everybody wants him in it. There's no, British Bulldog, which drives me up the wall. All these people are getting it, getting in the Hall of Fame and everything, and yet they're missing out all these other people as well. It just makes no sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't. But yeah, that's your Hall of Fame as of right now.
Yeah. And the Hall of Fame is the night before WrestleMania, April 2nd. So, and that'll be all. That's live on the network itself. I'll probably watch that the next day. So, like I said, I'll be too pumped up for WrestleMania. So, yeah.
Well,
that's what it is on that one, guys. So, what are you going to say?
I was going to say we did have you mentioned Ken Anderson before. What do you think about the whole fuck TNA thing?
Yes, for those of you that don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I believe I said this on many podcasts as well, but for those of you that don't know, Kenneth Anderson, from what I read, got fired from TNA because he failed a drugs test, from what it seemed. And there was a clip online of him at an ICW show, Insane Championship Wrestling, saying fuck TNA. And quite frankly, that episode or that situation is on the ICW On Demand service right now as we speak. I don't know if it's still free, but get yourself on. If you're not on the ICW On Demand service, you should be fucking on it, because you're missing out on a lot of great stuff. And plus, Barramania 2, the second annual Barramania, ICW Barramania, will take place the same night as WrestleMania. We won't get that until Monday night, though, or the next day, depending on what mood Mark Dallas is in and the ICW crew. But we'll definitely get that probably on the Monday. On the and you will see that on the ICW On Demand service. But I'll be too busy watching WrestleMania, so we'll wait and see on that. But like I said, he was there and he said, fuck TNA, I don't work for them anymore. But it turns out that he was fired because of drugs tests. Failed the drug test. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's the case. Probably is. If it is, it is what it is at the end of the day. But, yeah, that was the whole reason why he said fuck TNA, ladies and gentlemen. But like I said, I mean, he fitted in well at ICW. I didn't like the way they used him, because he came in, wrestled Joe Henry, and lost. But, what's next for Mr. Anderson, we don't know. Will he be back in TNA? He might be back in TNA, but we'll have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah.
It's a crazy thing. We'll have to wait and see.
And I've been enjoying the TNA product. I mean, Drew Galloway is now the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and next week it's going to be Drew Galloway versus Jeff Hardy for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship on Impact.
Yes, thankfully. Thankfully it's not going to be, Matt Hardy, because, quite frankly, I'm done with Matt Hardy. And I always knew that Matt Hardy would be a great heel, and he is. Like I say, Matt Hardy being a heel has worked before, but him being a world champion the way he's been, and then Galloway's came out. I think they've put the belt on Galloway now because he's not the ICW champion anymore. So that's why they put the belt on Galloway, because briefly he was the ICW champion. And yes, ICW and TNA seem to be in a partnership, ladies and gentlemen, from what I've heard. ICW stars are always hanging around the TNA show. Drew Galloway, Grado still kicking about there, and there's a few ICW competitors that have appeared on a few TNA competitors rather that have appeared on ICW shows. Bram, Doug Williams, even though he's not with TNA anymore. Magnus has even appeared on there. Hell, Mickey James has even appeared on there, for Pete's sake, as well. even though they weren't with TNA at that time, but, you know, they're still kicking them out. And hell, Drew Galloway still appears in ICW as well. So, I mean, it's a different way and a different direction it's gone. But yeah, in terms of in-ring product, I've been very impressed with TNA too.
Me too. The show's been great.
Yeah, the shows have been great. The wrestling has been great as well. The matches they've had, and I said this to James Belmont as well. We had a conversation about this on Facebook, as well as while we were on the podcast as well. You know, I've had there was a few mentions of this as well. You know, TNA have done great things. They've had great matches on there as well. Like, you know, Kurt Angle, Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle, Drew Galloway. You know, hell, even the Wolves and is it Decay?
Yes, the Decay.
Decay was, the Monsters Ball Tag Team Talent match was even good. You know, they've had a few other great matches on there as well. So they've done that as well. But the terms is, when I said this to James Beaumont as well, can they keep it up? I hope they do, but they've got themselves into financial problems again, from what I've read. Not as big as there was last time, but it's, again, from what I've read, they've gone into financial issues again. Like I said, not as big as it was last time around, which cost them, you know, the debt, you know, which got him into the situation in the first place. But in terms of in-ring product, you know, the in-ring work they've done, the wrestling they've done, I've been impressed.
Now, the one thing I wanted to note was, did you notice who's made a return in the last couple weeks?
What, TNA?
Yeah, Willow. Eric Young has been backstage. He's the only Willow.
Yes. It seems that, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we're getting not only Jeff Hardy, we're also getting Willow. So we're getting two stinks of Jeff Hardy. It seems. He seems he's bringing the Willow character back, driving Eric Young and fucking Bram up the wall. Especially Eric Young, even though Eric Young has now made it clear, and Bobby Roode has made it clear they are no longer in TNA. They are actually done with TNA themselves. So Bobby Roode, get yourself over to NXT, please.
Yep.
And maybe you can form the tag team of the Dirty Heels in NXT as well, since Austin Aries is there. But Eric Young in NXT, yeah. But I would probably say Bobby Roode needs to definitely get into NXT. But other than that, I mean, yeah, where would Willow fit? The last time he was on, he was driving Dixie up the wall.
Yep.
He destroyed Rockstar Spud.
Just umbrellas galore, baby. Umbrellas galore.
Yeah. And it took Kurt Angle to calm him down and get him to change back to Jeff Hardy again. But now it seems that both of them want to come back, and both of them want, you know, or TNA, or whoever's running TNA in terms of management and that. Please don't tell me it's a Smashing Pumpkins lead singer.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah, but it's in terms that it's kind of got to that situation where you will see Jeff Hardy, and you will also see Willow as well, from what it seems. But like I said, at the moment right now, Willow's playing mind games and driving Bram and Eric Young, mainly Eric Young, up the wall. So where that will go, I don't know. But like I said, I've been very, very impressed with TNA's in-ring work at the moment. Hopefully they can keep that up. But if they get back to where they were again, and you know, it's not going to pan out very much. I know.
And I've also been enjoying Ring of Honor has a lot of good stuff on. Ring of Honor's been great as of late. Next week they got Jay Lethal and Hiroki Goto.
Oh no. Yeah, I saw that as well, yeah. Ring of Honor as well is doing good stuff, but the only thing that annoys me about Ring of Honor...
Good.
There's only one thing that annoys me about Ring of Honor, and that's this Mr. Wrestling at the commentary position.
Oh, you mean Steve Corino?
Yes. Anyone with a brain can see that is Steve Corino, ladies and gentlemen, or can know that is Steve Corino. And yeah.
My thing is, can we just do Steve Corino versus BJ Whitmer in like a fight without honor and get it over with already?
Yeah, I think there's been a bit of situations on that one in terms of, in terms of, how can I put this? In terms of...
Was it Carino? I know he had surgery, so...
Carino had surgery. Carino definitely did have surgery. And it was a case of where that was going with that as well. And obviously they got Adam Page to turn babyface as well and turn on BJ as well, which if you saw, episode of if you saw an episode of what I call it as well, you will know that. But yeah, it's a case of where that's going with that. But like I say, I'm sick and tired of tuning into Ring of Honor and seeing this Mr. Wrestling 3 character, or Mr. Wrestling 2, or whatever the fuck number he is, at ringside commentating while everybody knows with a fucking brain it's Steve Carino.
Yeah, well, who's the only one that could chant super kick like that? Like, come on.
Oh, jeez. I don't know who came up with that idea.
It's a super kick party.
Just I don't know who. No, the whole Steve Carino Mr. Wrestling.
Yeah, the whole Mr. Wrestling 3. Just whatever. We know it's Steve Carino.
We know it's Steve Carino. Fucking BJ Whitman knew it was Steve Carino. Anyone with a fucking brain could see it's Steve Carino. But fucking Ring of Honor. I mean, it's just this creative stuff that hurts my brain. Not just in WWE, but seems to be in Ring of Honor as well with this Carino stuff. Tag Team Gauntlet was last week.
Yep.
Was the last week, on the last week's episode.
Yeah, Roppongi Vice getting the
actually 2 weeks episode. I don't know what it is. I reviewed it this week as well, so I would imagine it won't be anything that wasn't anything that big on there as well. Well, at least from what I got anyway. But 2 weeks ago, Roppongi Vice got the #1 contendership to become the tag team titles, or to win the tag team championships. I'll go for the Ring of Honor tag team titles, but the poor bastards have to face the War Machine.
Yep.
So, yeah, good luck with that, boys.
I mean, this was good. We had the Young Bucks. The main event was the Young Bucks taking on Tanahashi and Elgin.
Yeah, I thought it was that. Yeah, because I remember Elgin, and yeah, because it was probably a one. Yeah, I remember it now. Yeah, sorry guys, like I say, I'm losing my brain at the moment, but yeah, I remember it now because Elgin, I believe, at one point challenged the Briscoes.
Yes.
To a tag match involving him and was it Tanahashi?
Yeah.
Yeah, involving him and Elgin and Tanahashi as well. So maybe that's a warm up, and maybe we'll get that tag match at some point. So yeah, I've been impressed with the Ring of Honor as well, apart from that old Steve Carino bullshit.
Yep.
And who was the fight? Another as well, Dalton Castle.
Oh, Dalton Castle. Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago. I think they did Dalton Castle and Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, the Dalton Castle Silas Young feud.
Fight Without Honor's coming. 3 weeks.
Fight Without Honor for 3 weeks, and it all culminates with this feud with them, Dalton Castle and Silas Young, and it ends at what I call it, the Fight Without Honor.
Yeah, and then I think they got a super card coming up. They got a lot of stuff coming up. I think that they're building to the Addiction, Kazarian and Daniels against the Motor City Machine Guns, who are now back together, Sabin and Shelley.
Oh, so like I said, I missed quite a few bits of Ring of Honor due to the podcast as well. That's why I never really watched it, because I've done a different format now when it comes to having guests on my podcast.
Gotcha.
There's certain things that would normally fit in, but sometimes I'd have to break it down now a little bit as well, as you probably have listened as well. So it seems now so Chris Sabin turned on the Addiction, or...
Well, his reasoning was, I just realized that, you guys were nothing but a bunch of douchebags, and, that's why I went back with my best friend Alex Shelley, and then they had like a little, little go at it verbal wise, and it looks like we're building to the Addiction against the Motor City Machine Guns, which I think will take place at Supercard of Honor.
Yeah, well, at the moment right now they're in Japan, aren't they? The Addiction, from what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
They were going for the Japan tag titles. Yeah, So it'd be good to see what happens on that one. Yeah, like I said, I've been very impressed with Ring of Honor as well as Progress Wrestling as well, guys. Shout out to Progress Wrestling, check them out. If you haven't checked them out as well, be sure to. Like I said, it's just like the ICW On Demand service. Be sure to check them out. They are actually phenomenal stuff. The wrestling they bring as well. The stuff with the Origin, their group as well, which is led by Nathan Cruz. Let's go and check them out, guys. And their world champion at the moment is Marty Scurll. Is it Marty Scurll? Yes, it's Marty Scurll. Yes, I'm just trying to wrap my brains about it because he beat Will Ospreay for that championship, and seems to be running with it as well. And those of you that will know that Marty Scurll was, I'm guessing now, a former host of WTTV, since he hasn't been back in a while. So I'm guessing he's now the former host of that show. So, he's now the Progress Wrestling champion. What will take place on that as well? I mean, there's a lot of people from TNA that have gone back to Progress Wrestling as well. Mark Andrews in particular, which was a waste of fucking time, him winning that TNA boot camp thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'll still go on record and saying right now, Rampage should have won that boot camp. Rampage Brown. But, from what it turned out, maybe him and Kaylee Ray, maybe it was a good thing that they didn't win it. I mean, the only thing that came out with that boot camp anyway was Grado versus Al Snow.
Yep.
Oh boy. Less said about that, the better. Although, from what I saw, it did actually work.
It did. It got Grado over. Now Grado's doing his thing with Mahabali Shera against Eli Drake.
Mahabali Shera is a fucking goofball.
Yeah.
He really is. The guy comes out. I don't know if you guys saw this episode, right? And I think even Pope pulled this out as well. And I don't care, old wrestling is this, it's predetermined, it's scripted, yada, yada, yada. This motherfucker comes out, right, saves Grado from a beatdown from Eli Drake and
Jesse.
I guess it was Jesse Goddard, right?
Yep.
Saves a beatdown. He comes down and beats the living tar out of, was it Jesse?
Yes.
Jesse Goddard. Doesn't touch Eli Drake, leaves himself open, and Drake hits him with a briefcase. And I mentioned this on my podcast as well. What a fucking goofball. Oh yeah, I'll come out and I'll just take out Jesse Goddard. I won't touch fucking Eli Drake as well, even though Eli Drake is still, while I'm beating up Jesse, Eli Drake is still beating the crap out of fucking...
Yeah, he's the one Grado's fighting in the ladder match, for God's sake.
Yeah, which Grado is, like I say, Grado's back in TNA again, another storyline for Grado. And like I said, and I knew it was too good to be true that Grado wasn't getting fired from TNA. I know they're going to pull something, out with that, which is just... Wow.
Speaking of getting back in the ring, what do you think about the Pope and Lashley's interaction? It looks like we're going to have Pope get back in the ring and go against Lashley.
He should be back in the ring anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
How the fuck he can put up with Josh Matthews at ring announcer, I don't know.
Josh Matthews. Give
me a break. Don't get me started on him, please. He'll be here all day. That goofball. I can't stand the guy. I mean, the guy comes out... You can't take him seriously in whatever he's saying. It's as simple as that. You cannot take him seriously. You want to take him seriously in what he's saying. Oh yeah, we got the best roster in the world and this thing. But you can't.
What?
He's so far up EC3's ass, it's unbelievable.
Well, it's like, do you guys really have the best knockouts when you look at the girls in NXT and who they bring up to the WWE roster?
Yeah, exactly. Do you have the best roster? Not in terms of financial.
Oh.
Or considering the direction the TNA's gone, probably not. I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got a great roster, but there's a few people on your roster that probably should have stayed in Ring of Honor. Mike Bennett in particular.
Well,
Miracle Mike Bennett, yeah.
Speaking of Mike Bennett, what do you think about Maria? It looks like Maria gave up her shot to go against Gail Kim. So you had the Dollhouse, which I think they're finally going to be done with, is breaking up, and now we got Jade going against Gail Kim again.
I thought the fucking Dollhouse should have broke up when friggin' Tyreen Terrell announced she quit.
Yeah, I mean she was doing her thing. Then they brought Awesome Kong in, and then Awesome Kong, decided to let me go beat up Matt Hardy's wife, and that was the end of her.
Yes. to be honest with you, Rebby Sky wants beating up anyway, to be honest. Yeah, it's just this is what makes TNA so frustrating at times. They do great stuff, but it's the stuff that goes beyond backstage. You just think, oh my fucking brain, you know. That stuff backstage, man. I mean, that's what drags TNA down. But like I said, the in-ring work, it's good.
What do you think about some of the signees that they got? I know one was a gentleman from Chikara. They got Sylvester LaFour and Marcus Louis from NXT, Cherry Bomb, and Pepper Parks.
Yeah, I heard about Pepper Parks. What I think about all that at the end of the day, it depends how TNA uses them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if they use them right, they're fine. If they don't, they're fucked. It's as simple as that. Because that's what it is. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Obviously, the two NXT boys weren't getting their shot in NXT or anything like that, so that's why they jumped ship. But at the end of the day, you know, it all comes down to how you get booked and how they get used. You know, how they get booked, how they get used, and if they, like I say, if they get used properly, they're fine. Hang on. Nakamura, according to a website, Nakamura facing a top WWE star in Japan. Today that Nakamura is going to be facing Chris Jericho. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I've just read this here, courtesy of WrestleZone.com. It seems that WWE Network will be going back to Japan again, from what I'm hearing. Apparently they've been beefing on Twitter, and Jericho has called Nakamura a minor league Jericho wannabe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Simone Hall, and I think it's going to be taking place in July again. It's going to be another
Beast in the East.
The Beast in the East thing like they did last year. I think it's going to be that again. And this time Nakamura will be facing Chris Jericho, so that should be good. Also, it seems that Orton's back next month, from what I'm hearing. And like I said to you earlier on, Sting saying he's not officially retired, although people say that he has been, TMZ being one of them. Payback is May 1st. Yep. Global Wars is May 8th.
Mm-hmm.
And there's notice on the reason why Bobby Roode and Eric Young are finished with TNA. With regards to Bobby Roode, he was said to be in a similar situation with AJ Styles was in a few years ago in terms of money and high-paid talent. When Roode's contract expired last month, he was not being used by TNA in a way that would justify continuing to pay him as the top talent in the company. So Roode had effectively worked himself into a situation in which he was too expensive for TNA. And obviously being frustrated. So basically he was in the same boat as, from what it seems here, he was in the same boat as AJ Styles was. As for Eric Young, it's being said that he recently offered a new deal by TNA but was unhappy with the amount being offered. He has been with TNA for the past 12 years. Young was also unhappy with the talents who have been working for TNA for a much shorter amount of time than Young. And yeah, it's the same thing. This is what fucking frustrates me. This is what I say earlier on about TNA. It always comes down to money. They've got money now coming in and everything, but they're so tight with it now, they don't want to risk it in case they go into financial problems again. That's why they're losing people like Bobby Roode and AJ Styles. That's what I really hope TNA stay in business, but it's stuff like that, guys, that makes you wonder why people are frustrated with TNA.
Yep.
But I guess that about wraps this up, guys, because I've got, like I said, there's been nothing else much to talk about.
I just have one more note, if that's all right. I just want to
shoot in.
Okay. You mentioned Randy Orton is coming back. You stated next month.
Yep.
Okay.
Go on to that website at least, WrestleZone.com, guys.
Okay. I was gonna ask, before Orton got hurt, he was feuding with the Wyatt family. You think we'll get that payoff, and when he gets back, we'll have Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt?
Yeah. Because I can't see anything. I can't see them doing anything else with Bray Wyatt at the moment. Like I said, Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar has now turned into Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar. So, and the only thing I could see Bray Wyatt now being used in is the Andrew the Giant Memorial Battle Royals.
That's what I was going to say, like how the mighty and sort of have fallen, because I'm thinking if Orton didn't get hurt, I think they could have done Bray and Orton at WrestleMania. But but I think the whole Wyatt family is now going to be in the Andrew the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, because if you look at it, Bray, his first WrestleMania he's fighting Cena, last year he fought Taker, and now he's on the pre-show in a Battle Royal.
If they do that, I know Orton is back next month.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably see that match for Payback.
Yep.
Because Orton wants Payback.
Yeah. Now, apropos.
Yeah. So I would probably see that for next month. Orton, Payback. He comes back. He wants Payback. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
Off to the races you go. Kind of things. But, yeah. Like I say, it's a case of where they see it. I mean, like I said to you, Bray Wyatt, Brock Lesnar turned into Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar. So... And I think Bray Wyatt needs a really good, steady push, to be honest.
Agreed.
Because he always falls into the wrong places. He always gets built up, and then they fall back down again. Kind of thing. Which drives me up the wall, quite frankly.
Oh, the other thing that just came to my mind before we sign off, Anthony, if Shane sticks around, SummerSlam, you think we could do Shane versus Triple H?
Yeah, we probably could do that. But that would all depend on the direction.
The direction they go, yeah.
The direction they go with it. To be honest with you, that's a possibility. Definitely, it's definitely a possibility of that. But like I say, it all depends on the way they go in the direction of this, because if Shane wins at WrestleMania, the Authority will go. And Rick McMahon will go, and Shane will be in charge, done and done. But like I say, it's all depending on where it all goes, because there's all this talk about the brand extension coming back, and the brand split again coming back. So, Shane McMahon being on Raw, and Triple H is definitely possibly being on SmackDown. But like I say, in terms of that, it all depends where they go with it, and where... and how that would fit. Quite frankly, how would that fit in? But like I said, we won't know that until WrestleMania. We'll get a clear shot of that at WrestleMania when we have the Hell in a Cell match. But like I said, it all depends on the direction they go with it and the booking of it. But like I said, we won't know that until WrestleMania.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, episode 3, I guess, was it the Wrestling Zone? Wrestling Zone, episode 3, the long overdue episode, is done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. And, yeah, off to the races you go, sir. It's time now for you to find out, or let my audience know where they find you on this social media.
All right, but first off, before I do that, I want to say thank you again. Yes, it is long overdue, and I'm happy to get back in touch with you. And like I said before we went on air, April 30th, if you're still down to do another Wrestling Unleashed, depending on what you got going on, please let me know. Happy to have you on.
Wrestling Unleashed it is April 30th. The recording will take place April 30th. Just let me know. I would imagine my match on that one, in terms of my job, ladies and gentlemen, it is a Saturday, and I would imagine my match on that will probably be sometime in May.
Okay.
Probably be at the beginning of May, so on that one. So, like I said, the last home game is in May, and the last home game is against Brighton. So, yeah, I guess I'll be free for the 30th.
Okay, yeah, same time as we do. It'll be 3 mine, 7 or 8 yours, depending on, these clocks. They'll be turning back, yeah.
Yeah, these fucking clocks are doing my head in, guys. So that's why we were a bit late doing it today, because, like I said, we had the clock change and everything, and, the clock is 7 o'clock that time, Eastern time and everything. It's fucking confusing. It really is. That's why WrestleMania is 12 o'clock UK time.
All right.
On April 5th, man. I mean, that's what it's been that as well. But anyway, social media.
Gotcha.
It's all yours.
All right. So, yeah, as we discussed there, Anthony will be back April 30th for Wrestling Unleashed. You can find me on Twitter at SMShow, the number 1. That's at capital S, capital M, capital SHOW, the number 1. You can also get me at MCL92 on Twitter. Either way, I'm happy to interact with you. You'll be seeing some content. My buddy, Steve Nicoforo, my best friend, who's also the co-host of the S&M Show podcast, you can check him out on at StevieNixSM on Twitter. And on Instagram, I'm at Larkin_92. He is at IslesMetsSM. On SoundCloud, it is soundcloud.com/MCLarkin92, which you can hear Wrestling Unleashed, Everything Wrestling Audios, the S&M Show podcast. We're actually going to have a hockey show coming out. Steve's doing his own hockey show kind of deal. I'm going to put that on there. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/S&M Show podcast, and facebook.com/S&M Show Central. Yeah, just check us out. We hope you enjoy.
Also, another thing as well, I want to send an invite to your partner as well and get you guys on as the S&M Show part, as the S&M Show team. Mm-hmm. And get you both on an episode of my podcast, not like what we're doing right now, but maybe have you both on and we can do an episode of the podcast together. The S&M Show team.
Yeah, I appreciate
on the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'll have to see what he's doing. I know he's doing his thing with school. I'm doing my thing with work, and what I got going on with my family. But yeah, I definitely appreciate that, and I'll let him know. Yeah. Definitely.
Like I say, I mean, that would be cool to have you guys on. I mean, like I said, I've done a different routine, ladies and gentlemen, as my audience will probably know. I've shaked it up a little bit. I haven't done like I used to do where I'd have the first segment as the guests on, and the first segment as the guests on, and then I'll add in my 2 cents with the rest of the normal schedule that you've heard on the show. I have this one big huge show, which I don't do that anymore now. It's just, if I'm going to do a show based with guests, I'm going to do with guests. So like I said, it'd be cool to have the S&M Show podcast on. I don't think you've been on any other show before, have you?
No, I've been doing these with you, the Wrestling Zone. That's about it.
Yeah, that's what I say. I don't think your buddies have been on the other show, has he? Like I say, as you two together as the S&M Show podcast, you haven't been invited to any other podcast.
No.
I was going to say that it'll be cool to have you guys on. Then it'll be a first. Like I say, it'll be a first for me. It'd be cool to have the S&M Show podcast team on my podcast. So hopefully, look out for that, guys, in the near future as well. And I might as well throw this in as well. Check out Sunday Segway Wrestling Podcast, Offshoot Radio, Max Wrestling Podcast as well, and Evan McCabe. Boy, is he a handful, but you know what? He is controversial, as many people say, but he's damn sure entertaining, guys. If you haven't heard his podcast, go and check it out as well. And all of that is the Swerve Talk Network Familia. And shout out to everybody on the Swerve Talk Network as well who's a part of that. And also check out my website, guys, my 2 websites, theanthonywalker.net. I'm still in the process of making them, in a way, and adding things to it. But theanthonywalker.net and theanthonywalker.wix.com/AW Matters. Be sure to check that out as well. And with that being said, guys, my name is Anthony Walker. He is Michael Larkin.
Thank you all.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.